love rookie minicamp. Always have, always will. And it begins today. Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Steelers. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates in the same place that you found this. The event itself, the football component to it, if I'm being honest, it isn't much. And if you're one of those who wants to know afterward, how did so-and-so look? How did this person handle this challenge? This is not that. Even in the work schedule that gets shared with the media, and I'm looking right at it here, they go through walkthroughs from 10:30 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. That's the extent of what it is that they do that's visible to us. And probably the only people who have a chance to show you anything are wide receivers because, you can get as acrobatic as you want in attempting to catch the ball. But the other stuff, the intangible stuff, the human stuff, I feel like over the years I've gleaned a lot of good things that resonated, that stuck with me for a long time. And it can be valuable from a professional perspective, from my own, when it comes to covering somebody fairly, to have that initial experience, that initial reaction. The most powerful example that I can share with you, this might throw you, is Deontay Johnson. I very much get why Deontay has the reputation that he has right now. He has earned it. He has had himself a year and a half of earning it. And for all we know, he'll continue to earn it now in Cleveland, where problems don't exactly go to die, they go to get further exacerbated. But the kid that I met at rookie minicamp, after he was a fourth-round pick for the Steelers, out of Toledo, out of the MAC, was the most humblest, kindest, easygoingest, flattered beyond words to just be in the setting where he'd just arrived. He was blown away by it. And he reminded me in some ways of Emmanuel Sanders, who was always kind of the adult in the room among the money guys. Remember Mike Wallace and the older version of Hines Ward? And I had the highest hopes for Deontay in that context after that rookie minicamp. And no matter what would happen, no matter what kind of thing there was, something on the field like in Cincinnati, you recall when he didn't go pouncing on the football that was on the ground near him, I always kept that in mind, and we would talk about it. And I would bring that up with him. Hey, in a fun way, like I would say, hey, don't ever get too big time. I still remember the humble kid that showed up here at minicamp. Don't go big timing me when you become famous. When I come to get you for an interview, you're going to answer questions, right? He's joking around, right? And he always seemed to get a kick out of that. But he also didn't forget it. So later on, and even now, anytime I reference Deontay, you'll notice that I don't do the stuff that other people do. I don't just go, oh yeah, he's one of those problem diva guys that no, he really wasn't. He ran into a couple of situations that he didn't handle well. There's a difference. And it's worth getting to know these guys so that you can discern the difference. I'm looking forward to that today. I'm looking forward to Derek Harmon, who's yet to meet with the media, and understandably so, passing of his mother. We'll see if he speaks today. If he doesn't, he doesn't. If he does, it'd be wonderful to get a chance to relate a little bit. Caleb Johnson might have the best, most realistic chance, I'm not ruling out Harmon by any stretch of the imagination, to make an impact in 2025. Just think about his position. Think about the opening that's there. Think about the possibilities. And I'd love to see, looking forward to it, how he carries himself. How about Will Howard? What a blast this kid is. Him and Jack Sawyer, his Ohio State teammate, showed up at the Pirates game the other day at PNC Park. And hey, if you can be fun there these days, you can be fun anywhere. Now, they were up in the Steelers team suite. And when they were introduced to the crowd, they were put on the big board. You got to be thinking most of these people have no idea, right? There's a 6th round quarterback and a 4th round edge rusher up there, neither of whom's played in the NFL, but they loved it. Will Howard gets up and he's wooing the crowd, and then they liked him like instantly. I got a big kick out of that there. It takes a lot to get people to cheer there. And everybody else, I always try to make sure that, because it's a limited time period, it's good access, meaning from a media perspective, but it's a limited window. You're grabbing them as they come off the field. You don't actually go into the locker room on these things to bore you with some of the media details. But I'll still try to spend at least a couple minutes with a couple of the undrafted free agents. They're a lot tougher because I'm not going to lie to you here. You don't always know who they are because as they're coming off, they might take off whatever numbers they were wearing, and all that's left is like an undershirt and the upper padding, if any. But I want to give that a try too. I want to spend at least a little while thinking about the Steelers from some non-dramatic perspective. None of the Aaron Rodgers stuff is going to mean anything to anybody there. The George Pickens trade isn't going to mean anything to anybody there. These are just kids who are just out of their gourds that they're putting on Steelers stuff for the first time. And that is just so cool. When we come back, J1Q. Luxenberg, Garbett, Kelly & George is a personal injury law firm in Western Pennsylvania that represents injured people in automobile accidents, workers' compensation cases, and medical malpractice claims. The attorneys at Luxenberg, Garbett, Kelly & George pride themselves in doing what they say they're going to do. It's important to them that when they make you a promise, they keep that promise. And this law firm has been keeping promises for over 80 years. Luxenberg, Garbett, Kelly & George has been AV rated. That's the highest rating a law firm can receive for legal ability and ethics. And the lawyers at the firm have been designated super lawyers, that's a real thing, for over 15 years. Rare combination there. Luxenberg, Garbett, Kelly & George has offices in Cranberry, Newcastle, Beaver Falls, Butler, and Elwood City. Learn more about them at lgkg.com or by calling 888-842-5454. Again, that's 888-842-5454. Time now for today's J1Q. I gotta admit to you in advance, I love this one. Christopher Davis says, DK, you sounded like Mike Tomlin with that word salad. You talked about everything except how the Steelers are going to replace George Pickens this year. This right now is the worst offense as presently constructed in a long time. So I guess I should just check out on this team until next year's draft, right? Oh, man. First off, I'll never be as artful as Tomlin is with the word salad, okay? He does word salad like a master chef. But you see, I'm going right back at you here. And I'm going to begin by reminding you that I did address this very thing. And I did so emphatically. I said that I believe that Omar Khan not only aims to add a WR2, but also needs to. And then I laid out from there why it's going to be tough for the Steelers to do that internally. I believe very strongly that it'll be tough to do that internally. And look, even if you think that the solution is, well, let DK Metcalf run, George's old routes or his old role, and he'll be the deep guy, and the rest of the guys can fit in here or there. The flaw in that, the obvious flaw, and one would hope that the Steelers would have learned their lessons in this regard because it happened to George, is that main guy gets hurt and you're left with 10-man boxes in front of you. That's it. I also went on to say that the Steelers have multiple avenues for pulling this off. Now, when you hear me say that the Steelers are really lucky to have as many as 12 picks in the 2026 NFL draft, maybe you didn't hear the part where I said that I don't believe the Steelers are going to use those on the draft. I believe they're going to use them as capital. That means trade capital. That could mean moving up in that draft. That also could mean sending out one or two of those to get this other wide receiver. They have lots of different ways to do this. And I'm going to re-emphasize also from yesterday, you weren't the only one that did this, Christopher. That's, by the way, why I'm entertaining the subject at all. You weren't the only one to take what I said the way you did. So, I'll take some responsibility for that. But I also said that they've got money. They've got cap space. They've got tons and tons of cap space next year, but they have plenty enough this year, even with a potential signing of Aaron Rodgers, even with an extension being arranged with TJ Watt. Because for anybody who hasn't heard this on this show, an extension with TJ actually lowers his cap hit in 2025. Don't ask. So do I want them to get a WR2? Yes. Do I feel they need to get a WR2? Again, yes. Did I talk about WR2 for 2025? Yes, my friend, I actually did. And to everybody else who complained about it, I did. Hopefully this reinforces it. I appreciate everybody who listens to Daily Shot of Steelers. Don't forget to tune in for a fun episode this afternoon of Double Shot of Steelers. That's our live every weekday video program. This one will feature, and I mean front to finish, observations on stuff from the first day of rookie minicamp.